to a new video. So today we have Mishka here. I've known her from Desert Barbell. We've known each other for like a year, around that time, and we have you here as a guest. So I want to know more about you, and my viewers want to know more about you.
Thank you for having me, Yahya. It's a pleasure to be here. What would you like to know?
Yeah, so I want to know Mishka from like when she was born. Like, so when were you born?
So I was born in Tehran on the 6th of December 1982. My family moved here when I was around 3 years old. So I've been a Dubai resident for 37 years, 38 years and counting. This is my home. Yeah, so we moved here when I was around 3 years old, and I've lived here ever since, and the UAE is my home.
So when you came here at 3 years old,
Yeah.
do you remember anything from Iran?
No.
Zero? So do you have any siblings?
Yes, I do have a younger sister. She was born here.
She was born here.
Yeah.
So you've been here in Dubai for like 38 years. So you've seen Dubai from the beginning till the end. Dubai has changed, I think,
Oh my God.
drastically.
Oh my God. It's a city of wonders. When I was a kid in Dubai, the Trade Center was the last building. After the Trade Center was the Abu Dhabi Highway. And now look, we're sitting in Media City. I think we're a 30-minute, 20-minute drive from Trade Center?
Yeah.
And there's still more Dubai to see.
I remember when I was like 4 or 5 years old, it was way less crowded than now. Like,
Yeah.
there wasn't as much people as like before. And it wasn't like expected that it would go that fast.
Sheikh Mohammed's vision is one of the most fascinating, wonderful, inspiring visions I think I have ever heard of, let alone be lucky enough to experience it. To experience his vision on a daily basis in Dubai and in the UAE. The rest of the country is growing and booming every single day, and the multicultural scene, the different communities that come together and make this place the magical city that it is.
But actually, like, I don't believe, like, if Sheikh Mohammed come to me and he tells me, like, I'm going to do this in 50 years, it's, like, unbelievable.
Nobody can believe it because this vision it's breathtaking, it's miraculous, but look at what he has done and what this city has achieved and what this country has achieved on a international platform. What the UAE has achieved is you're speechless. There's no words to describe it. That's how amazing it is. May God bless him and may God bless the country.
I remember my grandpa told me when he was young, at like his 30s, he came here at like 1988, I think. He told me like Dubai had like 3 hotels only. It was mostly desert. There were like some apartment houses,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like this much.
Yeah.
But Abu Dhabi had a lot more people than here. And
I don't know. I think I was a baby at the time, but you read his books and you realize how beautiful and miraculous this vision is and all these achievements. So I think we're lucky. I think we're very, very blessed to call the UAE our home. And there's nowhere else in the world I'd rather live.
have you ever been to Abu Dhabi?
I grew up in Abu Dhabi. I spent around 12 years in Abu Dhabi.
So you weren't in Dubai? Or like,
Dubai and then Abu Dhabi and then back to Dubai.
so like from 3 to 20, you're like in Abu Dhabi, or like from...
No, we moved to Abu Dhabi when I went to middle school. And then I graduated in Abu Dhabi.
So from which university did you graduate from?
So I graduated from the American University of Sharjah.
Okay.
I studied mass communications and public relations. And yeah,
How many years did it take you to get that degree?
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah, I graduated a little bit early.
And what was your first job here in Dubai?
My first job, that's a good one. My first job was with a bank. So I started off as a junior banker.
So like, what do you do?
Well, as a junior banker, you just learn. You don't get to do as much because you're a junior banker, you're a fresh graduate. But, you know, you learn about investment portfolios and the markets and banking and deposit and this and that. So I started off at a private bank in DIFC, but very soon realized that it's not the field for me.
And then you changed?
I mean, I worked for the bank for a few years. I moved to marketing within the bank rather than being a junior banker because, again, numbers are not my forte. They're not my strength.
I like numbers. I like money. I like all of that.
Oh, we all like money.
Oh.
But so I did a lot of marketing, and then I moved. I had a couple of jobs here and there. You know, when you're younger, you're trying to find your place. You're trying to find what you're good at. Just because you studied something, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to do that in your professional work, and vice versa.
Yeah. There's engineers that change and become something else in the future.
Exactly. There's some of the best businessmen I know are engineers. You know, they've done the work, they've learned the business, and they've kind of implemented all their experience. Eventually, I found my way to the citizenship by investment world. So it's still got the investment factor in it. So everything I learned from my old banking days, I carry with me. And we do second citizenships for our clients.
And how long you've been in this industry?
A decade.
A decade of like the investment or the banking?
No, the investment by the citizenship by investment world.
Okay, so what did you learn from it?
You learn that everybody that comes to you for the same product, but everyone's reasons are different, and it teaches you something about people.
So when you were doing marketing before the banking, you've learned about pains and desires and how humans work and all of that?
You learn it as you, not so much in detail, but you learn it as you go along, not just in work, you learn it in life. I think it's just not things that you learn when you're doing your job. It's just part of who you are. If you don't learn every day, you don't evolve.
Yeah, I saw a quote. It was saying, stupid people are the ones who say, I know everything.
Exactly.
Smart people are the ones who ask, how do I know this? And can I know this?
Yeah, you learn every day. You wake up every day in life and you decide. See, it's a choice. You wake up, you decide to either be bitter and angry and unsatisfied and complain, or you wake up and you choose to have a good day. And I think if you have the healthy mindset of I will learn, I will evolve, I will better myself for myself, you know, you've done well. You should be happy with yourself for that.
So do you think that lazy people exist just because they want to find excuses?
Excuses are what makes you lazy. You know, and lazy, for me, I don't understand it. I don't want to really comment on it, but I don't understand it.
Yeah, I think like you should be productive as possible.
100%.
I think especially like in teens and then when you're like in your 20s, like if you work actually hard and like you want to become rich, you start going to the gym, you have a healthier body, then like you can retire your parents, and then you can also start making a huge amount of money, have more financial freedom, have more location freedom. It really helps you rather than just being lazy. And some people, especially like the Arab world, I don't want to be racist, but I'm going to be honest. They're like, I'm going to die one day, so why should I just be productive? I
don't think it's a nationality thing. I think it's a person-to-person thing. Whether it's the Arab world, whether it's the non-Arab world, whether it's the, you know, cultures. I don't think there's any culture that promotes, oh, I'm not going to do anything because I'm going to die someday. I think it's a personal persona. It's how you choose to live your life. Because yes, we are all going to die one day. But how about you make the most out of the ride and really have a good time and accomplish as many things as you possibly can to make sure that you've actually lived before you die.
There is also another quote that I got, which is like, life is like a video game. And one day it will be game over. And then you have to know how good did you play it. Did you win? Did you lose? How did you improve? And everything.
Yeah.
So after you started the citizenship, did you notice that it's 100% your career? So you're not going to change? Or do you have future plans to change?
I don't know. Currently, I'm very happy. I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. It brings me a lot of joy. I deal with many different people from many different walks of life. And that for me is important. People to me are important. Human connection to me is very important. Whether it's work-related or socially or whatever, however it is, or family, first and foremost, it's family. Human connection to me is very, very important.
And in those 10 years, how did you deal with rude people or people that are annoying? Because you definitely find them.
Of course. I mean, it's never a walk in the park, but that's a reflection of them. See, once you realize if someone's being difficult or rude or whatever it is, or nice, that is not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of them. And that's when you learn. If you genuinely understand that, you don't take it personally anymore.
Well, there is people that take it personally. What advice would you give them?
You shouldn't. If someone's being rude, it's a reflection of them. It's a reflection of their own struggles. It's their personality, not yours. It's the art of letting go. And once you're able to do that, you realize that just because, you met one horrible person today, it doesn't make it a horrible day. Maybe they're having a horrible day. And
yeah, I've heard some person, he was saying that, like, for example, you're going to sell them something, you're giving a sales call, and then you call them, and then they shout at you, and then you didn't even say something. They might have just, had a very bad day,
Yeah, that's actually a really good example.
It happened.
Because, it's not you. You realize that, I haven't even said anything yet for you to get angry. But first and foremost, it's a reflection of themselves. Second of all, it's maybe they're having a bad day. I mean, I think empathy is something that we don't talk about enough.
Like, for example, there's situations what happened with me. I've talking to somebody, and then, I just said a few words, and then they shout, and then they're leave me alone, and then you're like, what did I do? But it just happens.
Yeah, but that's their problem. It's not yours.
So do you think when that happens, how should we deal with it?
You wish them well, and you move on.
That's it?
That's it.
I think there's some situations where you could just, if they say sorry, you can
Of course, but that's what I'm saying. You wish them well, and you move on. Either they had a really bad day, and then they're not really bad people, so they circle back to you, and then that's okay as well. Or they never circle back to you, and then you realize they didn't have a bad day. Maybe they were just a bad person.
Exactly. So have you met fake people in your industry?
I think you meet fake people all the time.
But
I'm not very good at figuring out if they're fake or not, so...
But I feel why do it? Like some people, they'll be super arrogant, and then they have nothing. And then they're just a huge ego for nothing. I don't mind if you're a bit arrogant, but you have accomplishments.
If you have accomplishments,
but you don't need
never
to be
arrogant.
Do you actually believe in that?
Yes.
So most people that accomplish a lot are not
accomplished.
Arrogant?
If you're accomplished, you are content, you're satisfied, and you're hungry for more. You don't have time to be arrogant.
But I think for some people, if they are poor and they're arrogant, and then when they become rich, they'll be super arrogant. And then there are some people, they're happy when they're poor, their life is, they're not miserable. And then,
I don't know what poor and rich means, because...
rich means they have power, they have people.
Some people might not have all of that and they feel rich. Some people might have a small, average, in someone else's opinion, life, but they may feel that, they're healthy, they're happy, they have their family, and they might actually feel very rich. We don't know.
I feel nowadays it's a bit subjective. It's not black and white. Some people, they'll have 4 kids, and they'll have just like a normal job for 40 years. And they'll retire, maybe buy a house, and their kids will be married and so on, and they will be very happy. And some people aren't happy with that. They're like, no, I want a Lamborghini, I want a penthouse, I want a lot of cars, I want all of that, and that will make them happy. But I think always chasing pleasure is not something good.
No, it's not.
Sometimes you need to like enjoy the moment, and then
and be grateful. You need to be grateful for what you've done and what you've been given and the hand that you've been dealt.
Because some people, they aren't appreciating like the small moments.
Yeah, and that's when you lose.
Like, for example, when I see like people in like Syria, they get bombed with chemicals, and then they're like, they don't have food, water, nothing, zero. And then some guy my age is pissed because like he wants to buy a new phone. I laugh because it's weird. Because like, for when you see the bad, the real bad, you notice that how important and how good that you live.
How blessed you are.
And some people, when they see that, they start getting aware that they are blessed. Like, you're pissed because your phone is not working or something. And then there's people are saving a whole year to buy some food or like to buy slipper.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's like their whole year savings. And they're getting bombed and they're still waking up happy. If you give them water, they'll smile at you.
Yeah, they're grateful for what they have.
So I feel like for some people, they should notice these things. Like, I went in Egypt, Alexandria, I went to a place, I don't want to say its name, but it's like people like barely have houses, people are like barely enjoying anything. And when I went there, I learned a lot. I was like, yeah, like you should actually appreciate how much you have, because it will go if you don't appreciate something.
For sure. I think being grateful is one of the most important qualities to have in life. To be thankful and grateful for what you have, for what you've accomplished, and sometimes to be thankful and grateful for what you've lost, because it may have not been for you as much as you wanted it. If it wasn't meant for you, you don't know what would have come if you had it. So I always say, I thank God for everything that He's given me, and I thank Him for everything He's not given me, because those are things that I did not deserve.
So do you think being from Iran made you appreciate your life now better?
I think so. I don't look at it as in where you're from, or what your religion you are, or what nationality you are. I look at it as you as an individual. I look at people as individuals. I don't think race, sect, nationality, gender has anything to do with it. I think as an individual, you design your life, you make your choices, and you dictate your destiny as a person. Has nothing to do with where you're from.
Okay, so I have another question. Can people contact you if they wanted a citizenship? Like, am I allowed to leave your Instagram in the bio?
Yeah, sure.
What do you think? It's fine?
That's sure. We do second citizenships. And my Instagram is mostly
Gym.
It's mostly fitness
and
based.
lifestyle.
But yeah, sure, that would be completely fine. And
what do you think about having a citizenship in another country? How can it benefit you?
Oh, in many ways. That's what I said. People come to you for the same thing, but their reasons are different. Sometimes it's security, sometimes it's visa-free travel, sometimes it's going to a certain university in a certain country. It's a whole...
But if you have 20 citizenship, that means you can have 20 licenses?
You can have 20 licenses with one citizenship.
How?
What do you mean?
Like, if I'm from Egypt, I can get a license in Egypt, right?
You mean a driver's license?
Yeah, license. Like a driver license.
Yeah, I guess so.
This would be good.
I think it'll be useless.
Yeah. I think it's more of a flex, or it depends on who you are.
I think it's irrelevant. I think if you have one good one, it's enough.
So has people come to you with more than They have like 3 and they want to have 2, 3
No.
more? Most people buy only
No,
one?
most people buy only one.
So it's important to get another one if you need it.
If you need it for your own reasons, given your family, what your future plans are, what kind of security you're looking for. But I think when you get one, that kind of does the job.
Yeah, some people are like from a country that, like, let's say you're from a country that doesn't, like, if you went to the embassy, they won't give you anything. They can't help you. And if you have the other passport, they will help you.
Yeah, of course. Some people travel a lot for work.
And they need visas.
They don't want to spend the time simply, he's a very legitimate businessman. He doesn't want to spend the time waiting in visa queues. So he just gets himself a second passport that gets him to the world visa free.
So apart from work, what do you do?
Train.
So tell us more about your training.
I'll tell you more about my training. We train at the same gym.
Yeah.
So I powerlift. And it's my passion. I love it.
How long you been training?
4 years now. 3 years and something.
And why did you start?
Strength is something, it's mental and it's physical. And I think powerlifting gives you a combination of both. It takes a lot of mental strength to become a powerlifter, and it takes a lot of physical strength to become a powerlifter. And, strength is relative. So it's not about comparing yourself to someone or someone necessarily being stronger than someone else. It's your own journey. You embark on this journey for yourself because you want to become stronger as an individual, mentally and physically.
And when you started going to the gym, you went also at Desert Barbell?
Yes.
So that was your first gym?
I've done group classes here and there. And
went with your friends?
a little here, a little there. Nothing that was, there was no discipline.
Was that like something like...
Yeah. I couldn't find what I was, like the work thing, you get a job, you figure out, maybe this is not what I'm passionate about, and then you move on to another job. So it was kind of the same thing. You tried the different, circuit training and group classes and then some PT, and then you realize, maybe this isn't for me. And then you keep discovering because you don't get it right the first time. I don't think anyone gets it right the first time.
So is there someone that suggested you Desert Barbell to train?
Yes, Marco.
And Marco's been your coach for most of the time, right?
So Marco has been more than a coach to me. Marco has been my mentor. He was my biggest advocate to, start powerlifting. And I'm forever grateful to him for that. And I've recently moved on to Bex.
Rebecca.
So Bex has started coaching me. Marco, he's a co-founder at Desert Barbell.
And Patrick is...
So him and Patrick have co-founded Desert Barbell together. And I think as the gym grows and the community grows, he has a lot more work to do these days than just train me. So,
But actually, like me, I know Marco also from the gym. I don't see him as usual as Patrick. Patrick is like the person who's always there. If you ask them, I'm like the one who always asks a lot of questions. Dan sometimes gets annoyed. He's like, yeah, I'm training people.
You're a little curious, Joe, aren't you?
About money, especially, yeah. Because I want to become a millionaire. I have my plan, 22, 21, I want to become a millionaire.
Inshallah.
And that's one of my goals. There's in the power meet, the last one that I was in, Dan and everyone are talking about gym and competing. And there's someone, Dallas client, I'm asking him about his business. And Dan was talking business also in the power meet. It was so funny. I'm the only one who does it.
No, when I'm in Desert Barbell, I just focus on powerlifting.
And then next time I want to just focus on powerlifting also. And then after that we'll talk about money. So since we opened a bit about money, do you know Robert Kiyosaki? The one who has a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Ah.
Did you read it?
No.
I read it. It's amazing. I got one for Patrick.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So let's get back to the gym. How did gym affect your life?
in more ways than I can describe. It's made me a stronger person, mentally and physically. I'm very proud of how far I've come. The power meets I never thought I could compete ever, especially because I started training older. So when I started, I was like 37 years old, and today I'm like 40. And I think I really like being a master's lifter now.
So when you started, did anyone tell you, oh, you're too old? Start.
Yeah, a lot of people say that to you. Oh, you should have started in your 20s. Oh, but you have no background. Oh, but this and that. But that's what I appreciate about Desert Barbell.
They're like the opposite.
They're
You'd
exactly
see people
the opposite.
50, like I think Nina's like late 40s. The German, she's from Germany. Or like
Jasmine.
No, Nina.
Oh, yes, Nina.
I think she's 40, 50 or something like that.
Yeah, but I don't know how old Nina is.
And she told me she's like training for like what, 1 or 2 years? I don't remember exactly. Yeah. She started at like 40 something. And people would still support.
For sure. And Nina just broke a couple of Asian records. She has she has a few Asian medals. So as a master's lifter who started training later in life, she's placed in Asia. And that's beautiful. And, that's why I say strength is relative.
And also Jasmine has done good work.
Jasmine's a phenomenal lifter, and she's also a master's lifter. She's competing internationally. Nina competes internationally.
Even I saw her on Desert Barbell. There's a poster. When she won.
Yeah.
There's a picture with her and
she's
Marco.
Placed in the Europeans as well. So to be part of a community of female masters lifters.
And there's people also 14 years old, and there's all ages at the gym.
Yeah.
So like it's very good. It's very like supportive.
It's a very inclusive community, and again, it's one of the things that I'm grateful for.
So do you think training at Desert Barbell and training at anything other than Desert Barbell is a huge difference?
Huge. I couldn't do it.
If you trained at another gym, you won't.
I could not try. I don't want to train at another gym. I train at other gyms when I travel.
Yeah,
because discipline and fitness has become part of my daily routine. And every time I train at another gym, it makes me miss.
It's not like as.
It makes me miss Desert Barbell even more.
Yeah, especially when you're doing a PR, there's a lot of people like shouting, helping you.
Yeah, the community is very supportive.
And like once I was like sad, and like there's always people that will cheer you up. Yeah. Like if you go sad, you're gonna leave happy.
100%.
It's impossible to go
well
like
said.
sad.
I think that's very well said. You walk in, no matter how you're feeling, you will walk out feeling happy.
Even if you feel like lazy, some people are like tired.
Yeah.
You go. It feels a huge amount of energy.
For sure.
So what do you think?
Places.
What do you think about Patrick?
Patrick is one of the most wonderful, kind-hearted people I've ever met. His knowledge and experience is priceless. Every time I have a conversation with Patrick, I come away learning that much more. And, he's been a lifter his whole life. Patrick's discipline is something that I really, really admire. His discipline is something, it's not easy. Yeah. It's not easy to be disciplined like that and commit to your goal every day and show up for your goal every day. Yeah. Patrick shows up every day, but he also shows up for everybody else. For his clients, for the community, for a new lifter that's walked in. And he shares his priceless knowledge and experience with you. And he does it it's so kind and it's so genuine.
That you don't feel like he's doing you a service. It's like
not
you're
at
just
all.
having a talk with him.
Not at all. But after you walk away from Patrick, after a little conversation, for a good couple of hours, you're like, oh.
He said something nice.
Oh. And then when you carry that through with your lifting, things get so much better because in terms of technique, he's phenomenal. I did even though Patrick doesn't train me, I did a bench workshop with him. One workshop. There was like around 10 people, 12 people in the workshop. From that 1 hour, I learned at least 5 things that I was either not doing or I was doing wrong or I should have been doing better.
So Patrick knowledge is like crazy.
Phenomenal. It's priceless.
So what do you think about the workshops at Desert Barbell? I've done one with Olga. It was very good.
Which one?
The bench one.
The bench one.
But Dalia was so pissed off me because Olga said things that Dalia said, but I was like, oh, yeah. And then
Because you didn't listen to Dahlia the first time around now, did you?
and then she's like, oh, really? So I didn't tell you that. Dalia was like, and then Olga was like confused and it was like a mess. Because when I talk about something and...
So you created the mess.
Yeah, a bit. And then Dalia was like, you don't listen to Arab women, you just listen to Ukrainian women.
No, I don't think it's a nationality
it became
thing.
into a race, and it's just a joke, you know.
It's a joke. It's not a nationality thing. The Desert Barbell coaches they're well trained. I think their knowledge is all very, very, very good. It's just workshops are also very helpful because sometimes when you're in a group or when you hear it from someone else,
your brain starts working better.
Sometimes you just have to hear a sentence that just in a different way. The technique's the same, what they're teaching is used the same. But sometimes, and it also goes from coach to coach, have struggled just the way we've struggled in...
They were one day a beginner. Like
exactly.
A coach was also a student.
So their journey is something that, you learn from Dan's journey, you learn from Chris's journey, you learn from Olga's journey, and everyone comes from different backgrounds. Bex, one thing I really enjoy with Bex is she came to the UAE not as a coach.
Yeah, she worked as a flight attendant.
Yeah, so she was a flight attendant.
So it's a whole different industry.
And whenever she used to imagine you're on a flight, working on a flight for God knows, 7-8 hours, you land in another country, you're in a hotel gym and you still find time to train. So when people tell me, oh, I'm too busy or I'm too tired,
are you sure?
I'm like, you're not too busy and you're not too tired.
You're just too lazy.
I wouldn't call them lazy. I'd say you're not as strong as your excuses. Your excuses are stronger than you. Because the excuses are always there. You all have jobs, you all have families, you all have lives, you all have responsibilities. But you take an hour and a half, and you show up for yourself.
So do you think gym is as important as something else?
It's one of the most important things in my life.
And having gym in your life is something. Do you think other people should also do it?
I think everybody should have something in their lives, in terms of
self-improvement,
mental and physical fitness. Now, you may not want to be a powerlifter, and that's okay. You're a runner, you're a CrossFitter, you're a swimmer. You find something.
I feel like gym is never bad.
Never.
You can never go to the gym and feel like, oh, I did something wrong. It's always good that I went to the gym.
Always. It's a pick-me-upper. That's how you pick yourself up on a bad day. You go to the gym.
So, gym is something that improved your life. Have you recommended it to people around you?
Always, every day.
Did they do it?
Yes, a lot of people. My circle isn't that big. I try to keep my circle small, but everybody within my circle has some sort of fitness goal and fitness routine and fitness discipline in their life.
So, what do you think about Marco and Patrick's future of Desert Barbell?
I don't really have a comment on the future, but I have hopes and wishes. I hope the community grows. I hope Desert Barbell grows. And I hope we can have as many lifters as we possibly can in the country and then in the region. Because that kind of competition makes you grow stronger as well. You know, I really hope that we have a Desert Barbell Saudi and a Desert Barbell Kuwait and a Desert Barbell Qatar.
That's what I was saying. I was
wish.
asking Patrick about that. I was telling him, what do you think about opening another branch and franchise? He was like, I don't mind the idea, but I'm not sure will it be the same quality as this.
That's a conversation to have with Patrick. I just personally, I hope it grows. I hope
I think it's
excel.
actually growing.
It is
now.
growing. It's grown a lot. Look at us. We were small, and now just the number of lifters that we have, and the knowledge that Desert Barbell coaches have. I just hope that, you know, there's more and more and more and more in that.
Yeah, because I saw a picture on Rebecca's Instagram of Power Meet 4 and Power Meet 12. It was a huge difference.
Huge.
And Marco told me like the gym was first like smaller equipment, and then they started getting more equipment and so on. So when you're training, when you're traveling, is it a bit harder than a Desert Barbell?
Of course. You don't know where, you know, when you're traveling, you don't know what kind of gyms they have. You don't know if there's a powerlifting gym close to you. But that's okay. That's another one of the charms of Desert Barbell. So whenever I travel, I send a video of the gym to my coach. And then my coach changes my program and says, okay, this is what we have available to us.
Let's use
So let's use this and this and this. So if there's no, let's say there's no squat rack, we'll do, you know, goblet squats or whatever, and this and that, whatever it is, that will still keep me training, it will still keep me disciplined, and it gets me closer to my goals.
So he's very adjustable and very flexible.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to do this. If it's not, there's no options.
No, there's always options. You know, that's why I take pictures and I send videos, and we do what we do what we can. The important thing is we don't miss a session.
So what do you think about Masters powerlifting?
The Masters powerlifting community it's something, I didn't know it existed a few years ago. You know, because the fitness world keeps talking about age, and, you know, people keep talking about age, and it gets a bit exhausting. Until, you know, I joined Desert Barbell and I learned about Masters, that there's a Masters community and there's Masters powerlifting. And ever since I've turned 40, I feel really lucky and blessed to be part of that group.
I think also Masters is growing just as sub-juniors and junior.
Yeah.
Everything is growing. Also, when you start going to a gym, I think you know like few stuff, and then when you start going, you start learning more.
Exactly.
And experiencing more.
You know, because I personally thought, you know, the older I get, the less fit I'll be. However, having joined Desert Barbell, the exact opposite has happened. At 40, I'm so much fitter and stronger than I was at 30. Masters community, just like the rest of our, you know, little categories, is very inclusive, very welcoming. I've met a lot of wonderful women, Nina being one of them, Jasmine, Anna, Tash, Melanie, Emma. And I've learned from their experiences, and we share our stories, and we get together and we talk about our struggles. We talk about recovery, because your recovery is something that's maybe a little bit more different when you're older. And it's a wonderful place to be. Older doesn't mean weaker at all.
And do you think people think it's the opposite? The more older you are, it's just sit at home.
So I mean, maybe the general connotation is that, but I think in every fitness, in every sport, once you get into it and you find like-minded individuals, a lot of that mindset that you had from before changes, and it changes for the better. Like I said, at 40, I'm fitter and stronger than I was at 30.
Yeah, also at one of my power meets that I saw, there was a guy, his name is Steve. He's like 70-something and he's competing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you're still not giving up at that age.
Of course, because he's living a good quality of life. It has nothing to do with your age.
So do you think age is a misconception about gym?
For sure.
100%.
100%.
And do you think?
And I think that because it was a misconception for me.
Do you think? Did you think about that in the beginning?
Yeah.
You thought you're old, nothing is gonna
Yeah,
work?
when I was, I'm 37 years old, and this will just be something I do every couple of days, and I'll never be in a power meet because I'm too old, because society had told me I'm too old, and I mistakenly decided to believe society.
So do you think society is too judgmental?
Sometimes, but I think it's also up to you to choose whether you want to fall into that trap or you want to better yourself. And I had the same misconception. I wasn't confident enough at 37. I never thought I would be competing in a power meet. I'd be like, I'm too old for this stuff. And little by little, as I got my strength, as soon as that discipline started becoming regular, I've competed in power meets, and I've had the best days of my life. I've been power meter. You've been at power meets. It's so exciting. It's so much fun.
Yeah, and there's always also people cheering you up.
Exactly.
And no matter the weight, there's something different. I thought I was gonna get made fun of, but at the first power meet, it's like everyone was cheering up. It was very
because again, like I said, strength is relative, right? You lift for you, I lift for me. So no one says, "Oh, she's too weak," or "Oh, he's too weak," or too old.
I think I'm the only bully at the gym. Sometimes, like sometimes I say like that's my warm up and these stuff. Some people get pissed that I stopped saying it for now.
That's good. That's good. No, I think to be encouraging of everybody else is being encouraging of yourself.
And when did you do your first power meet?
2 years ago, I think. 2.5 years ago.
And first time it was obviously stressed and all of these stuff.
No, it was a lot of fun.
You weren't stressed at all?
No, I think I got stressed more than my second power meet. My first power meet was just for the experience. I was just happy that I could compete. Just the fact that I could. Just the fact that I'd reached the point that I could, show something for my hard work.
And how many power meets have you done till now? Do you
3.
know? 3.
3.
So you're doing like one a year?
Pretty much, yeah.
On average?
Yeah.
And what do you think of people that are scared of competing? They're like, no, that's not for me. It's too hard or any of that stuff.
Everyone has a different journey. Their path is different. All I can say is even if you don't compete, that shouldn't stop you from training. Show up for yourself, show up every day. And if you decide to never compete, that's okay. And if you decide one day you want to, that's great. But you can train for your entire life and not compete, and that's fine. Because you show up, you get stronger, you get fitter, and it becomes a structure in your life that's non-negotiable anymore.
I think what you're saying is correct. I think like the first month will be like a bit you have to force yourself in the gym, and then it will start feeling like you're eating and drinking and showering. It's like normal thing by time. And then you'll be the opposite. You'll be wanting to go to the gym.
Of course.
You'll be like, I'm happy, I want to enjoy more and train more. It's going to be like more of a lifestyle.
Exactly.
Rather than just like, because in the beginning you will feel more as if like it's something you hate. Like you sometimes have to force yourself to go. But in the future you'll start having more.
That's where the power of your mind comes into place.
Exactly.
You set a goal. It may be hard in the beginning. Sometimes it's hard in the middle as well.
And hard to continue.
Sometimes when you start getting stronger and then you're fatigued and then you're doing a block which is heavy and you're about to peak, you get tired. Your body gets really tired. And that's fine, but that feels good. To me, that fatigue feels good because that fatigue is from hard work. You do a little deload, you keep the mind strong, and then you go in for a PR.
So
Best feeling ever.
So what was the hardest competition you've done?
The hardest competition I've done is the last competition I did.
Why was it hard?
Because I went into it with an injury.
What happened? What's the reason?
So I'd really fatigued my back and I wasn't fully ready. But I'd signed up for it, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it gets hard, but you still show up. I knew I wasn't going to PR because I wasn't able to push myself that hard, but I showed up.
Do you think you could have just said, oh, okay, I'm not just going to compete and then...
I could have, but I wouldn't.
So do you think what made you not do that?
My discipline and my coach.
So Marco is a huge role in your competition, that means.
Of course. And so was Bex. Bex coached me around my injury. She put in so much time and effort to train around my injury. I couldn't let her down.
Me also, I had a competition and then my back cramped in one of my trainings. Dalia started from zero.
Yeah.
We built back up and then my back started feeling way better.
And then you realize I can't let my coach down.
Yeah, it's not like...
And I can't let myself down because it's a journey you do together. The coach-student relationship is a very beautiful relationship because it's all focused around support and help and strength. So you both play different roles, but you want the same thing. You know, you want a PR, you want to get stronger, and they want you to PR.
It's a win-win situation.
So it's someone who's invested in your happiness.
Yeah, I feel like when you reach to that point, like some coaches are just business, but I think Desert Barbell are actually
coaches,
like actually want you to improve.
They want you to be better.
Because it's like you can never, like if it was just a business, they wouldn't care. But if you have an actual problem, they'll help you.
For sure.
And it's hard to ask a question and not receive an answer. Like some coaches aren't that experienced and you can never ask them something and they'll say, oh, I don't know about it. It's never happened.
Yeah.
There's always, even like they might explain it to you even when they aren't forced. Like you can go ask, for example, Chris. He's not your coach. He's not getting paid for anything. And he'll still give you an answer. And
he'll give you a solid answer.
And that's something very, very good about Desert Barbell.
Amazing. It's amazing. That's why we're lucky. We're lucky to have found Desert Barbell.
So, any of the members have pushed you specifically to become better? Not coaches, members. Who are like...
Everyone. And like you said, you step in, you're grinding away. The whole gym stops and cheers for you.
So is there someone specific that you want to thank of the members?
Oh no, everyone, but most especially my Masters members.
Okay, so anyone who's a master?
Emma, Melanie, Anna, Tash, Tracy. Oh, Tracy's so close to my heart. I love her so much. And Nina.
So generally, when you're around people like-minded, you don't feel like there's something wrong.
No.
Impossible. So let's move on to recovery. What did you learn from it? And how did it improve your life?
It's... Especially when you're a little older, I think you really need to pay attention to your recovery. You need to listen to your body. And recovery time is something you learn to appreciate. Because sometimes you take recovery for granted. Thinking, oh, I'm not too tired. Oh, it doesn't matter. But then you learn from your coach. Recovery is recovery. You have to do it in order to get stronger. It goes hand in hand with your strength.
I noticed that especially when I'm traveling and I don't sleep well. Oh man, my body's dead. And then when I sleep well, like me personally, I sleep at like 7. I wake up at 4. Or 8 and wake up at 4 a.m. It's very nice when you sleep early. You have a huge amount of energy.
Exactly.
And then you start feeling that you're more productive when you wake up early.
Exactly.
And your
recovery is just as important as your training.
And do you think people think it's not important?
Maybe. There may be that misconception, but I'm not too sure. Recovery's always been important to me. Sleep is one of the best things in life.
Because there's people I noticed that go to the gym, but they sleep at like 4 a.m. and wake up at like noon, 12. And I don't think that's right. What do you think?
That's not a lifestyle I can live.
Impossible, right?
No. I like going to bed early. I enjoy my me time. I enjoy my recovery. Active recovery also. On the days that I don't train, I make sure, I go for a walk or I go for a swim, something very light, something very mellow, just to keep the body moving. Active recovery is just as important.
So have you done any deep tissue massage, cupping, or massages generally?
Massages generally, not deep tissue or anything, just spa treatments every once in a while.
So do you think it helps or not?
I don't know.
I've done cupping.
I do that just because, you do a spa day because you're a girl and makes you happy.
So girls really like massages and spas or not?
I don't know if all girls do. I do.
So when do you usually do it? Like when?
No, every couple of months. I don't know. It depends if I'm traveling.
So it's not like something for recovery. It's something just for fun.
That's just for fun. It's leisure on the side.
Okay, that's very good. And what do you think about supplements?
I have no information on supplements.
Since you started going to the gym, you've never taken any supplements?
I have my protein shakes.
That's the only thing you got?
That's the only thing I have.
What did you try pre-workouts?
Coffee.
You've never tried
coffee and C4?
Yeah, C4.
Yeah, sometimes a C4 drink.
Yeah, C4 drink at Desert Barbell tastes very good.
Yeah.
I think it's too heavy. Like me personally, I'll drink it at 2 times. I have like half of it and then half.
Yeah, I can't finish it.
Yeah, when you finish it, it's like you can't sleep at night.
No, you can't. My go-to pre-workout is just black coffee.
That's it.
Just simple. Keep it simple.
So, what about your nutrition? Are you following any diet or?
No, I enjoy food. I'm a big foodie. I love ice cream. I try to keep it clean, but of course I have junk food every once in a while. I'm a human being at the end of the day.
And what's your favorite protein source? Like, what do you like to eat as healthy food, like chicken, meat, and these stuff?
A good steak.
A good steak.
Yeah, a good steak with some mashed potatoes on the side.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I like salmon.
All right.
Not everyone likes salmon, I understand. But me personally, I know how to make it good.
Okay,
so
good.
I like it.
So at least you can cook for yourself.
Yeah. I once sent an Instagram story to Bex, salmon and broccoli. Do you want to have some? She's like, no, I'm good. Because it's broccoli is not something that's nice, It's not tasteful. Like, I don't think broccoli is tasteful. You just eat it because you want to feel full.
Maybe. Some people enjoy it with a little bit of lemon. I don't know.
So what do you think about oats? Do you like oatmeal? Because most people...
Give and take.
Me personally, I really like oats. It's very... Especially when you lose weight, oats are very healthy. And it's full of fiber. It makes you very full.
Mm.
Especially if you add some cinnamon, stevia, and some strawberry and banana, it will be very nice.
That sounds yum.
Yeah. Also, Dalia, my coach, she posts some stuff.
Yeah, Dalia does good recipes. I like her stuff. I like her nutrition tips.
Yeah. I'm going to get her a new cookbook. I'm going to give her one.
Nice.
That's a secret between me and you, okay?
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
So, do you think, what advice would you give to people for this episode?
Show up for yourself. Show up for yourself every day, and you will be amazed with the results. That's it.
And what do you think about people going specifically to Desert Barbell? So, should people, if they're in Dubai, go exactly to Desert Barbell?
Check it out.
Or just...
Don't be scared. Powerlifting is not that intimidating. It's a lot more fun than you think it is. And whatever fitness path you are on life, drop by, check out Desert Barbell, come meet all our members and, the community. And you never know, you might be the next record-breaking powerlifter.
I saw, the first day I went to Desert Barbell, I saw Mustafa and Kareem.
And look at how far they are and look at how much you've learned from them.
Yeah, Kareem and Mustafa were very good friends. For first time to see them, they were very nice people. I had some problems with someone I knew, and Dalia interfered and stopped them. And Mustafa called me just to make me feel better and gave me some advice.
Yeah, they're good people.
When you're at Desert Barbell, you're at a family.
Yeah, you're home.
If there's a problem, it will be solved.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
You're home.
And what do you think about people saying, oh, women go to the gym, you're going to be too muscular and all
I don't even listen to that. I don't even listen to that. I don't even care. I think that's their perspective on life. If they want to think small, that's their problem. Let them be.
Did anyone tell you that?
Yeah, you hear that a lot.
Oh, you're a girl, don't do that. And,
You'll be muscular, you'll be bulky. It's none of your business.
and it doesn't even happen.
Even if it did happen, I don't think it's anybody's business. I'm a woman, I can choose how I want to look like.
Okay, that's very... So do you think they're rude when they do that?
I think they're insensitive, but it doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, guys, so that's the end of the episode. I hope you liked it. So don't forget to watch the whole episode if you're... So yeah, if you're in the end, you've definitely watched it. Yeah, so don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and there will be many guests soon. And good luck, guys. See you later. Bye. Yeah, guys, so this was the podcast playlist. So if you like this playlist, and I've seen like there's a huge audience for it, and when we reach 10,000 subscribers, I could start getting more guests. But for now, we're gonna have the same amount of guests as I have planned, and I hope you're gonna enjoy this playlist. And when we reach 10,000 subscribers, there's gonna be a huge announcement, and I hope this channel will grow by time. And we have very good surprises for you, and I hope you enjoy my YouTube channel. And that's it. See you later. Bye.